Hey guys, and welcome to episode 13 of our Road to Glory, and this episode is another FUT Champs episode. So you guys are going to see a bunch of highlights from every single game we've played, at least the ones that we've won. And this one was another successful weekend league. We're 2 for 2 currently. We managed to hit Gold 3, which is our target that we've set out for every single weekend league. And yeah, this just assures us the 2000 FIFA FUT Champ points that we need for the next tournament. And so what happened this weekend? We played, I think, much better, I guess. Much more consistent than last weekend. You're going to see from the record and the stats I show at the very end of the episode that we ended up scoring, I think, around 12 more goals than last weekend league. And also conceded, I think, 2 goals less than last weekend league. Which is pretty good, I think, all things considered. We're always improving, which is our main goal in this series. And so this weekend league, we had quite, I guess, a big difference in the way the team played. Like last weekend was essentially we really relied on Son and like Hakimi as a super sub. But this one, I don't know, I feel like the team was much more balanced. Like Son was also like really good, but he was no longer like that dependent player that we had in the team, which we had essentially it was like really required for every single game. A lot of our goals this weekend league came from Hazard and Lucas Moura from the wings, which is quite different, I guess, from last weekend league, which I guess shows like that I've sort of broadened my playstyle and that I'm able to also play off the wings and come in and cut inside. But yeah, we also tweaked a couple small instructions which allowed our wingers to come more like cut inside rather than stay wide. I don't know, I was just testing out different things and I decided to go with the cut inside for this weekend league just to see if it would be able to bring like different levels for my attacks, because I felt like it was too easy for my opponents to read my plays, and therefore having like this ability to always like either swing out wide or go down the middle I think is really crucial if we keep moving forwards. So what else happened this weekend? So during this weekend I did not like Anthony Martial. I know last weekend he was really crucial for us with Son, but this weekend I don't know, he just wasn't really good because our striker, we switched it up to a target man formation. And I don't know, like, his passing ability, just to, like, lay off the ball to, like, the wingers, was not great, and I didn't really enjoy it. So throughout the whole entire weekend league, I was actually considering to, like, swap him out for another player. But then I told myself it might just mess up my whole entire chemistry and, like, foundation of how I've been playing. So I was like, you know what, I'll just, go through this weekend league, and then we'll talk about potential switches after this, like, 30 games. And so, I'm not going to show you in this episode, but by the end of next episode, so on episode 14, which will essentially sum up everything, like all the SBCs and all the objectives that I do throughout the week, you guys will see that we will definitely change up to a new team. I've already got 2 players in mind. I'm not going to give them away, but 2 players in mind to fit in right into the squad. And so, yes, you guys will likely see Martial leave the squad, and we'll probably play either Son up front or find another striker. But essentially what I'm trying to get at is I needed somebody that could play target man with good passing ability. And Son is really good as a cam, but I think he might be as lethal, if not better, as a out-and-out striker. So that's how we're going to set up for the next weekend league. It's just crazy, like how after one weekend, everything could be different, although you don't really change much. But yeah, so we're just trying to essentially really fortify our team every weekend, because people are, going to start developing the teams, get better teams. And essentially, we need to keep up with the pace. Otherwise, we're just going to fall behind, and we're not going to be able to, be competitive and all that. But that being said, this weekend league, we did much better. We played 28 games. So, yes, okay, it's still not great. Considering, like, most other, like, content creators or, like, YouTubers or, like, professionals can finish their, like, Goal 3 in, like, let's say 15 games. So, like, lose 1. But for us, it doesn't matter. Like, we're just here to try and improve our gameplay. And I felt like a lot of the time, I would win 2, then lose 2, then win 1, then lose 1. So essentially, every time I got matched against somebody that did really well, I'd lose that, but then I'd win the next one. So like, I don't know, I was always on track essentially to hit that 15 wins mark, which we don't actually need because 15 is not the next level. There's no point of chasing it, and Gold 2 is actually not really worth it, all things considered, compared to Gold 3. But yeah, so we ended up having 2 games to spare, which is really nice. It's I guess less frustrating, but it's already good, essentially a good step up from what we had last weekend. And another thing that's important to say is this weekend I banged out all 28 games in one day. I know it was really like stupid of me to do that, because it was really mentally straining to play all 28 games and get really tilted at some points. But I had a busy Friday with an exam, so I couldn't like do anything on Friday. And then Sunday I just, have to edit everything and get it out on the weekend, and also do some work to catch up for the next, week of studies and all that. But excuses aside, we played much better than last weekend, and I'm really happy with what we achieved. And so if we can, I guess, hit gold 4 maybe next weekend with, let's say, 3 or 4 games to spare, essentially always like diminished amount of games like that we're losing in the end, so we don't have to play as much. That'd be really great for me. But yeah, otherwise, if we potentially played them over 3 days, which is another, I guess, big factor, we could have probably done better. We could have maybe hit gold 2 comfortably, but then again, it's not our real goal. I think we will keep training and playing well until we feel confident enough to at least hit gold 1, and then we might consider pushing for like gold 1. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in just pushing for gold 2, because like rewards are not worth it. Like you either do gold 3 or gold 1. Like gold 2 is not worth it. But yeah, so this tournament, what did we do? What else did we do? We played a lot of, I guess, possession football. So yes, I had to change my playstyle a bit. Of course, there were a couple games where like the possession playstyle was like super against us. So we had players that were like dominating our possession to like 60 to 40 or like 70 to like 65 to 35. So there were games which were like quite slow and like frustrating to play, but other than that, we managed to like play much slower, and I think it helps. It allows, like, especially the games which are like getting away from you when you're playing against a better team or a better player. I always feel like if you're playing possession football, you will get your chances. So it always allows me to like stay really close against my opponent, like scoreline wise. I think this weekend league, we blew a couple players out the water, but in terms of like the losses we took, we're always like 3-2, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, like really narrow wins. I think only 1 or 2 games we were literally like blown out the water and like lost 4-0, like 5-1, and like a rage quit. But yeah, it's just that like the moment you start trying to go all out attack and like start like, I guess, accelerating your playstyle, is when you're gonna open up your own defense. And what I've learned so far is like you really have to stay composed. It's always a long run. Like you will get chances because people will make mistakes, and if you keep playing slow, then his like team will get shuffled around and you will create space. So you'll see this, especially during the highlights. Even games when I'm like down, I still manage to keep it really close. I don't think I necessarily show all of them because that'd be like 28 games of content, which would be too long. But yeah, like even the games I'm winning, sometimes I go down 1-0 or like 2-0 even, and I come back and then like, you know, create space and like, you know, keep pushing, because you will get your chances. And you guys might notice this as well. Most of the goals we scored were a lot of like from out wide, or like when it's like 2-0, 3-0 and they pushing the team up, then it's like a through ball down the middle. So essentially during the whole entire game, when it's somewhat close, most of my play will develop out on the wings. But once like I feel that my opponent is starting to press me and come like really high and like, you know, off the back line, then I'll just go through the middle with the through pass between Martial and Son. Which brings me to my next one. I need a player that can like have really good, I guess, passing abilities in that middle cam position. I want Son to be my next striker. So you guys might be able to guess, but we're going to sign one of the best, I think, cams in real life as well as in the Prem in-game. And yeah, so you guys might be able to guess who it is. But yeah, I think he'll be really good for our team. And so that's the next goal for the next step of our team development. And also during the weekend league, we got a lot of different content, which I will put in the next episode. So we had a lot of Halloween stuff, so SBCs, objectives. We did a little bit off camera, so between games, I did a few of the new, League 1 objective, league player. And yeah, so essentially I'll show also the squad I built in the next episode for that. And essentially I might be doing it with a friend on like co-op, because then it allows me to do like, you know, the co-op objectives too. And I suggest you guys do that too, because it's like you need to win like 15 games, so you'll probably have to pay like a good 20 to 30 to even come close to finishing it. And so you may as well just do it with a friend, so you get those co-op objectives too, and you guys, you know, it'll be somewhat more fun and more enjoyable to play all like 30 games with a 77 rated squad, which can be quite frustrating when, you know, you have a really good team that you want to play with. But other than that, that's practically it for this episode. I'll put once again like the stat line and all that at the end of the video, so you guys can see the whole entire like win loss and all that, like how it's set out throughout the whole entire 28 games. I'll put in the goals for and goal diff and goals against, which I do believe are better. Like we scored more and conceded less, which is really good. It's a big plus. And our MVPs this essentially this, I guess, weekend were, like I said before, not Son and Martial, but rather our wingers, Hazard and Lucas Moura. Which is also pretty funny because one of them does end up getting sold by the end of the weekend to get replaced by a potential beast. I've heard a lot of good things about this next card, and I think he'll be, you know, great for us. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, everybody stay safe. Lots of love for everybody out there. Peace.